Australians are at each other's throats because that's what happens when inequality soars and people fear for their futures. And it's in this environment that the far right thrives. The prejudices that power the right are always with us. Some people live with hate and ignorance in their hearts. When members of a society understand that they have common interests and are represented by governments that work for those interests, those prejudices lack the fertile ground they need to take root in society. But when people's material conditions decline, as they have in Australia, they begin to become alienated from each other, and the idea of a common interest becomes harder to imagine. Solidarity gives way to exclusion. Community gives way to brutal individualism. And that's when the cheap, cynical rhetoric of right-wing populism can take hold in people's imaginations. We've seen it in the US, we've seen it in Europe, we've seen it in the UK, and now we're seeing it here. Throughout history, the demonisation of minorities has been used by nationalists and fascists to whip up hysteria and fear to build their political power. And today in Australia, we are seeing history repeat. The dark forces of the far right, harnessed and funded by the billionaires and the corporate elites, as they always are blaming immigrants for house prices, whipping up hatred of the Muslim community and First Nations people, and trying to wind back decades of progress on climate action and the rights of disabled people. These ideas can only gain purchase in an environment of social and economic instability. It's the failure of governments to ensure that everyone can afford a safe and secure home, that everyone can see the GP or get their teeth fixed without going into debt, or that the weekly shop doesn't blow the household budget, that creates the conditions of fear and uncertainty that allows poisonous ideas like the hatred of immigrants or anti-Semitism or Islamophobia to flourish.